Okay, hey, welcome back. And today we're just going to jump right into it. I want to talk to you about some misconceptions around new homes and buying a new home because a lot of people, they're out, they're driving around on the weekend, they're looking at these beautiful new homes and they're thinking, I'm never going to get one, especially my first time home buyers. They usually are thinking, man, maybe I'll get a new home in 20 years. Most of my first time home buyers have a lot of misconceptions and think they need to buy a fixer upper. And usually I talk them out of a fixer upper because there's a lot of unknown costs with fixer uppers. Construction's expensive right now. And there's just, you don't know what kind of problems the house is going to have. Or, like maybe you're going to have like expensive problems like a new roof, which is $15,000. So there's a lot of things that, fixer uppers, we're going to talk about how to do that right on another episode. But today I just want to talk about new construction because about half of my first time home buyers usually end up buying new construction. It ends up being the better deal about half the time for them. And so I'm always surprised at how many people come to me and think that it's not affordable or attainable. So I really want to break it down for you a little bit further and tell you why it's actually a lot of times the best option. So, first of all, a lot of the builders right now, they're running incentives because it's been a little bit of a sluggish market. And so they're running incentives where first of all, they don't even require that much down. Usually there's like a $5,000 hold just to like hold the lot. And then usually there's a percentage that they'll take as like a deposit. Every builder's a little different. I have great relationships with all the builders. And one of the first things I want to tell you is that, first of all, you definitely want to call me because I have great relationships with those builders to where a lot of times I've had the employees of that builder say, hey, you actually get a better deal if I were to go through you than I would get, and I even work for the builder. And so my clients get amazing deals, and I'm able to really negotiate because I do a lot of new construction. And so they give my clients a better price breaks and incentives. I've done everything where we've even negotiated in a washer dryer, fridge, blinds. I do that on a lot of the new construction because my first time home buyers, especially, they don't have a lot of disposable income. And so those things are just extra money out of pocket. And I would rather them be using that money towards their down payment. And so a lot of times I can negotiate in again, kind of those hard costs of a fridge, washer dryer, sometimes blinds. And then the big one that I do is a lot of times I can get them to give like 3% towards buying down an interest rate. So basically 3% of the house purchase. So it's like a credit of around $15,000. So usually it pays for their closing costs and buying down the interest rate. So we just had a client this week. They closed. They were like, what's the catch? Because they were able to get a lot of incentives built in and most of their closing costs paid for as well. And so it ended up being a far better deal for them to buy new than to actually buy something on the market. And again, if you go into a model home, then you're not really represented. They have their sales agent there, but then nobody's really representing you. So definitely call me before you do that. And I want to talk to you about new construction. But again, at least half of my first time buyers are buying new construction. And they usually tell me, we never in a million years thought we would be able to buy something brand new. The other reason I really like selling new construction, and I do this for all price points as well, luxury homes and everything, is because then you have a warranty. So in the state of Utah, it's required that builders give a warranty for at least 1 year, and that's to make sure that basically quality of build. And other areas of your house, you're going to have longer warranties in. So, for example, if it's like the range, you usually have like a 3 to 5 year warranty on that. And you usually have like a 15 to 20 year warranty on the roof. And so there are other warranties that carry on further. But let's just say that your air conditioning unit didn't work or something like that in the first year, you would call the builder comes out and they actually fix it for free. So everything in the house is basically guaranteed unless, and this is the caveat that I always tell people, unless it's something you did. So the reason I bring that up is because I've had some people then, switch out the garage door opener. They've wanted to put something, on their phone, and that's great. But, if you've messed it up in the process or you back into your own garage door, and these are true stories, by the way, but if you've backed into your garage door, that's not something they're going to fix for free. So, again, it's just more things about the quality of the build. And so I've had people that have had LVP flooring, laminate flooring that maybe was installed wrong. They figured it out within the first 6 months and they replaced all the flooring for free. They came back in, ripped it out, and then they gave them a new warranty on that. I've also had clients that maybe like the countertop. We just had this happen not very long ago. They used kind of a porous and flaky kind of granite. And so little chips were coming off. And so they're actually coming in and replacing out the entire countertop as well. And so that builder warranty is actually really pretty phenomenal. And then after that, you have these individual warranties. And I always tell people, fill out those registration cards. Like there's ways that you can register your appliances, and it's so the manufacturer knows if there's a recall, for example. Then that way they can, contact you faster. But by you doing that, what the reason that they incentivize you is then they also give you usually 1 year extension on top of the normal warranty. So if you register your appliance, for example, and usually you have like a 2 or 3 year warranty, your warranty then, if you fill out the little postcard that comes with it, then becomes a 3 or 4 year warranty. Same thing with like your fridge, washer, dryer. So I always tell people, I'm like, and your furnace, any of those things, you'll see these postcards when you close on new construction. You want to fill those out and you want to send those in. I didn't do that on one of my first homes because I didn't know. And so, again, that's why I really like to tell you that, but it does extend your warranties. But the reason I like new construction too, also for first time home buyers especially, is because then you know more of your fixed costs every month. Because then you're not having to make huge repairs on things. Because probably one of the saddest things, and I've seen this myself, or I've been in this situation, is like what happens when a water heater goes out. And then that's $1,500 that you're having to just come up with unexpectedly. And when maybe you have a young family or maybe you're single and you're in a home, you don't want to have those kind of expenses all of a sudden. And so that's one reason I tend to do a lot of new construction or newer homes for my clients because I also know a lot about construction since I've generaled my own house before. I've actually generaled a few of my homes before, but it's just important to buy the right product. Again, one other thing too about new construction is there are some areas. I have one area right now in Saratoga Springs where you can buy a home and it already comes with a basement apartment already finished. And so it's a great hacking opportunity. And house hacking just means that you're living in the house and then maybe you're renting part of the house out. And so, for a lot of my clients that maybe are like newlyweds or maybe they're single and they want to have roommates or they're like, hey, I just need to subsidize my payment, then house hacking is also a great way to go. And you can buy homes, some newer, some a little bit older, depending. But then, either you can have roommates or you could even put in a full like basement apartment, kind of an ADU, what we call an accessory dwelling unit. But there are some new construction places that actually already are doing that for you. So it's in the loan. And the one that I'm just talking about right now, they have like a full kitchenette in the basement, outside entrance, everything. It's right ready to go. So somebody could move in upstairs and then rent the downstairs and probably get about $1,500 to $1,800 a month for the downstairs apartment. So there's different deals out there. The reason you want to use a full-time realtor is because, and I've talked about this in a previous episode, even when I started, I originally said, hey, maybe I'll just do this part time. And that was a mistake because you really need somebody who dives in deep and knows what's happening in what areas. you also that's what you're really paying them it's to do is to find you those kind of deals out there. A lot of times, I would say about a third of the time right now, I'm actually finding things that are not on the MLS system. So a lot of people also think, oh, my realtor is going to find something on the MLS. Well, it's not just that. It's kind of knowing again the deals out there, what's happening. Sure, I use the MLS, but that's just one of my tools, not all of my tools. What I'm also doing in the background is I'm talking to the builders. A lot of times I find a home, especially in the new construction world, where sometimes this happened again this last week. The home somebody had upgraded the home. They'd put about $40,000 of upgrades into the house, and then they couldn't qualify or they didn't, and they ended up walking away from that money. And so my clients walked in. The house was like fully upgraded. Had it was funny because I even looked at the tile, and the tile is the same tile I have in my house. And I know exactly the cost on that. And I was like, wow, that is not like standard grade. I could tell somebody had come through and just spent a lot of money. They had like cool sliders in the back of the house, a lot of extras. And what had happened with that is that deal had fallen through. And a lot of times the builders will call me and say, hey, we have somebody who can't, qualify for financing. We'll just cut this and, let it go. And meanwhile, that other party had already upgraded the house. So my clients are walking into about $40,000 in like equity just right off the bat. And so that's pretty amazing when you can make something like that work. And again, they call me, they usually say, hey, we know this is going to happen. Here's what we'll do. And so a lot of times I'm selling things that are not on market. You're not going to find them on any of the websites or MLS site, but just kind of knowing what the deals are that are out there. And again, going back to the incentives with new builds. So not only do you get the warranties, but a lot of times I'm building in even closing costs. And we're talking like on a like I'll just use the one we just did as an example. It was a house priced at 569, beautiful house, amazing, upgraded, and then we were able to negotiate in 3% of the purchase price. So we're talking, almost 18,000 in the 17,000, and we were able to negotiate that as being used towards anything they wanted to use it for. So my clients were able to use that to pay for their closing costs. So that's just hard money that you're saving right there. They paid for their closing costs, and then they even had extra money that they were able to buy down their rate even a little bit further. And they got a great rate on that as well. And then again, they have all those warranties. So it's a great situation. I've had clients that sometimes will buy. Um, again, like something that they can also offset the rents with. And so, it's good to just kind of call me, talk to me about your situation, and usually I can know pretty quickly what's going to work for you. And I look through everything with like an investor type lens because I started as an investor. Then I always look at what's the kind of your best bang for your buck. It's not always emotional. I mean, yes, I want you to love your house, absolutely, but I really want your house to make you money. And that's the way that I look at it is I want to get you started in the right areas right now, buying the right product so that you're never upside down, so that you have value there, so that even I've had clients that later they've moved out of state and maybe they've kept it as a rental. So they'll call me up and I'll talk them out of selling it sometimes. I'll say, hey, because I'm in this for the long run and I want what's best for my clients and I call them my clients and friends. And what I'll do is I'll, kind of look at the situation and I'll say, hey, this might be a good rental for you to keep and it's generating money for you. So you might as well keep it and not sell it. And then other times, there's times where I've also had clients that I have a client that probably has about 50 rentals. And but they're not the right rentals for them right now. So we're restructuring a plan where we're getting them out of some of their older units that they have and putting them into something else. And so there are ways to do that. And we're going to talk about that in the future as well on 1031 exchanges and some investing. kind of opportunities that save people money and how to grow your money really quickly. But I just wanted to kind of debunk a lot of the myths around new construction because new construction just sounds like it's not affordable. And a lot of times it's actually the most affordable. So give me a call and let's chat about it. And we can talk about your situation and get a plan going. Thanks.